Hello. Good evening. You're on to Austin. Austin, hello. Yeah, you're also Austin, and Austin is talking to you live from Nigeria. And I don't know, I decided to come online today to discuss with the TBC community and explain or give in details my experience so far within the TBC community, right from my inception and going down up until this time. And I guess it's going to be a wonderful time that I will spend with us here within the TBC live broadcast. So now, where exactly do I start from? You know, TBC has really grown, and a number of things has happened right from when TBC came into existence up until now. And by the grace of God, I'm going to try to address all these things the much I can up until now that the 500% bonus will be coming to an end. So as many that will be coming in, please don't forget to like my video. Don't forget to subscribe. And as time goes on, I guess there are one or two things that you would get to learn from me. Okay, now I came into the TBC community sometime I think around October 2016. That was when I came into the TBC community. And then when I came into the TBC community, then I didn't know anything about TBC, you know, and I was of the opinion that I wanted to go into some things concerning internet, you know, internet business, but I really didn't know the kind of internet business that I would engage myself in. So somehow, that was my early days with Bitcoin. I came across Bitcoin. I got to know about Bitcoin, and I started studying about Bitcoin. You know, I studied a number of things about Bitcoin to find out how viable it is. You know, and after I had studied it for a while, I understood that yes, Bitcoin is okay. It's an encrypted system that can be used to buy and sell. It can be used to exchange goods and services. That's my own understanding I had then about Bitcoin, you know. And that was the time I was newly introduced to blockchain technology. You know, I had this wallet, the blockchain.info. You know, when I picked up the wallet, I was still learning the wallet, learning how to work with the wallet, and a number of other things. You know, and while I was doing it, I was enjoying it. There was this thing that tripped my attention. It was about the fact that there are no particular transactions that can be repeated, and everything was all built and encrypted, and there were what do you call it, transaction IDs that makes every form of transaction valid or makes every form of transaction unique. You know, those were the things that caught my attention. That was before I came across TBC. So it wasn't so long. It took about a month that I had just come into Bitcoin that I now came across TBC. And you know, TBC looked quite similar to Bitcoin then. And I think then that was October. And then Bitcoin was more in value than TBC. I think TBC was about 0.0.12 or 0.25 TBC. That's 0.25 Bitcoin. Wait, let me get it very well. One Bitcoin was equal to 0.125 or 13 TBC coins. But as at then, the value of Bitcoin usually or increases in increases every day. You know that the formula is built on one system, and the system is that the value continues to grow in direct proportion to the number of people that come into the TBC community. And it continues to grow until it meets the ultimate value. That was far back as at October 2016. So as at then, it was appreciating by 4%. When it came out by March 2001. Between March and that time, it had reduced from 5%, it had dropped to 4%. These are the things that I had seen then. And apart from the things that I had seen, I I was still getting to understand the system very well, you know. So after some time, I came into TBC. I looked into the blockchain of TBC. It was quite similar to that of Bitcoin, you know. And as at that time, we're using the old wallets. We're using the TBC, I think TBC 001 .net, and it wasn't so long from then. We came into October, we came into November, and then we came into December. That was when we did our first migration. Now, our first migration took I think it came up January 2017. That was when the migration began. And then we did the migration. After we finished the migration, then the old wallet system was closed. And then after some time, the admin now made an announcement through the blog that if you had not withdrawn your coins, please kindly go back to withdraw your coins. Because once I close it this final time, that's the end. you know. So most people that had their coins in TBC, they had to withdraw their coins, and then they moved it to the new system. And the new system then was TBC 004. So don't mind me, I'm just taking my time to discuss all these things in details so that we'll know how far that we've gone in the TBC community. Okay, now after the system, we had come into the new TBC 004 wallet as at then. We started growing in numbers. We were growing on a normal base, and the value of the coins continued to grow day by day. And then it moved from 4% to 3%. It moved from 3% to 2%. And then after some time, it moved from 2% to 1%. But within this time, a number of things were happening. One of which is we had an issue with our coin network. That was one of the issues that we had. A major issue we had with our coin network. And it was like there were some hackers. Would I call them hackers? Yeah, you could call them hackers. They were the one that interfered with our system. And then they started feeding off our system. A number of things went wrong then. That was what yielded to migrating into a new and more improved blockchain system. That was when the admin made the announcement that we should start doing migration. I think he made the announcement of our migration will be coming soon for a period of about 3 to 4 months, before we officially started migrating. Sorry, pardon me. So when we started the migration, it took a period of 3 months, which we are all aware of. And just about few weeks ago, our migration process was brought to an end. And then after it was brought to an end, I'm sure that so many people will be thinking, and now the migration has come to an end, what comes next? Do we go into our banking and all this and all that? But the truth of the matter is that there are no banks. Yeah, that's the truth. The truth of the matter is that there are no banks. I'm so certain that there was a time admin was so determined to make sure that this becomes a reality. And he has not lost sight of that. He's still working towards making that a reality. But between now and then, a number of things are going to happen. One of the things that are going to happen is that we may have to perfect in the system of cash flow. The reason why I say we have to perfect in the system of cash flow is because if you do not involve or get yourself engaged in cash flow, then it will be impossible for us to break through the system. And I'm sure a good number of people don't know about this. So many people are still waiting for the banks to come in, and when the bank comes in, then they start getting their money free of charge. No, you cannot easily do that. Now, let me tell you something. The admin said that this cash flow will take a period of 1 to 2 years. Okay, now let's assume that it exceeds 2 years. So if it exceeds 2 years and it gets to 3 years, what do you do about it? Are you going to sit down idle, doing nothing, waiting for the system to become liquid, and then you can use your money to do things? Are you sure you wouldn't have lost your coins by then? Are you sure that you wouldn't have gotten one out by then? That's the whole reason why the admin has been advising us that we should take up the initiative and start learning how to do cash flow. Now, what do you mean by cash flow? Cash flow is a process whereby, that's cash flow. Cash flow is a process whereby you are exchanging your TBC coins for cash. That is what cash flow is in summary. Cash flow is a system where you exchange your TBC for cash. That's what you can call cash flow. Now, if you are not in the process of distributing TBC coins for cash, then you cannot say you're into cash flow. It's not going to be possible. Going into cash flow can be defined as a process whereby you exchange your TBC for cash. Now, how can you go about this? You want first way to know or to go about cash flowing is to have knowledge. If you do not have knowledge, you would never be able to go about cash flow. So many people are still looking at TBC and they're like TBC. And I was discussing with someone, and that was today. Now, I was discussing with the person, and I told the person that at my place of work, it's going to take me a minimum of 5 years. Sorry, a maximum of 5 years. After 5 years from now, I'm going to retire from my place of work, and then I will have my own empire. I'm going to have my own company, and I'll be doing my things. The person then asked me a question. The question asked that, don't you think 5 years is so short a time for you to have your own business, have your own company, have your own organization, and all this and all that? I looked at him and I smiled. The reason why I'm smiling is because I had pity on him. The reason I had pity on him is that he has engaged himself in different kinds of gambles. And all his gambles were to no avail. He tried out gambles and gambles, and all those gambles kept failing him. So he began to feel that that's how the whole system is. And I had been telling him about this TBC for close to about 6 months now. He never paid any attention to it. He all looked at it and said, well, it's going to take a little while, but I know that this one is going to crash like others. He had spent as much, almost 1 million on his gambling games, and it didn't profit him anything. So each time I tell him about TBC, he looks at it and says like, I'm not so interested. Anyway, let's watch and see how it goes. Now, I had sat down because I understand the whole principle of cash flow. I've understood the whole principle and the concept of cash flow very, very well. And I am so certain that if I'm able to engage myself in cash flow in another 5 years, I should have been able to create enough network. I should have been able to create enough links to people within and without the country. Now, if I'm able to achieve that kind of thing called a perfect networking system, and to be able to raise enough cash flow, sincerely speaking, I am going to actually have that my empire that I've been talking about. Now, I would want to advise, because I know that a good number of people may be watching this video or will watch the video after I have finished this video. The thing I want to advise is this: please and please, if you are a student of the TBC Academy or TBC community, TBC Academy is the blog actually. That's what the TBC Academy is. It's a blog. If you are a student of TBC community, you should cultivate and start learning how to do cash flow. If you have not started learning how to do cash flow, then the point is that you'll be tempted to begin to think that TBC, in fact, you would never know that something is happening within the TBC community. And another thing I also want to call our attention to is that so many of us hasn't been attending send button meetings. And that's another problem. We should start learning how to cultivate the habits. Cultivating a habit is something that you have to do willingly. It's not something that you'll be forced to do. It's a thing that you must do willingly. Every now and again, the send button meetings are done. And each time the send button meetings are carried out or is done, most people do not pay attention. In our community, we're about 3 million. Yes, in our community, we're about 3 million. And now, out of 3 million people in our community, how many people take time? How many people take time to attend the send button meeting? I think the admin made a remark last week that about 10,000 people attend the send button meeting. How can 10,000 people attend a send button meeting where we have a population of about 3 million or 3 point something million? You see, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Really, it doesn't make any sense. If you're in a community and all you can do within the community is to stay idle, I don't think it's encouraging at all. So I think most of the thing that is making us to grow this slow is because of so many of us are redundant. So many of us are just idle doing nothing. And I don't think that's the best alternative. I don't think that's the best alternative. Well, anyway, I've said something from that. So now moving forward, I know that a number of things will be coming up. Currently now we're in the month of August 20th. So how many more days do we have? We have about 11 more days to the close of this month. Now the admin clearly said something concerning the blog. He said that the QR code will be coming up very soon. Now that QR code will help us as members to be able to interface with merchants easily without stress. That's the reason why the QR code is going to be put up. Now, as soon as the QR code is put up, I wouldn't be surprised that it's going to start attracting merchants. Yes, I know that the TBC community may not look as active as you want it to be. But you see, it's going to happen on a very gradual basis. It's not going to happen overnight. It will happen very gradually. And as it's happening, maybe one organization could come in and another organization could come in. It may not even happen this year. It may happen next year. But the point I'm driving at is that we are becoming an organized system. And that's the beautiful thing about TBC. We are becoming a I don't know if there's any system within the world that is more organized than the TBC community. And you see, as we get more organized and we continue to grow in number and we are much more organized, I tell you, it's going to attract the eyes of international organizations. They may want to come and do business with us. They may want to know one or two things about our business, our coin, and all that. So the point I'm driving at is if you are a member in the TBC community, do not look down on your coin. Do not say that the coin is worthless. And then do not say that, how can I spend it? When you're not willing to make commitment, you're not willing to go in for cash flows. So let's start thinking from inside and then finding out how best we can utilize everything within us to make sure that we distribute these coins to the ends of the earth. You know, I know that so many of us has different ways to go about. Some of us are quite talented and skilled. If you are so skilled and you're talented, please, I want you to start giving it a shot. It only takes a short while. Give it a shot. As soon as you've given it your first shot, given it your second shot, given it your third shot, I tell you, you will see that one person will begin to patronize you. And the more you do it, the more efficient you get. And the more efficient you get, you begin to create more cash flows for yourself. Okay? All right. So based on that, I want to refer us to the blog. I want to refer us to the blog. Um, exercise patience. Let me share my screen. Okay. Now, I want to discuss some things with you guys on this blog. Now, tomorrow is the last day to capture the 500 bonus. This is one. And now this is the one I want to call to our attention. Please, for as many of us that has not paid attention to this, this is to my greatest surprise. The admin for the very first time was able to pick up our send button meeting. Usually the send button meeting is classified, but you know, he didn't classify this one. What the admin did was that he picked it up, and then this was the send button meeting we had today. And this send button meeting, he immediately carried it and put it on the blog. So for as many of us that are watching my video or that will watch my video, I want you to please kindly pay attention to this send button meeting. And after paying attention to the send button meeting, in fact, the admin was so wise to have put it here. I want you to make sure after you finish paying attention to it, then you now go and get your there's the security and the not the security weekly question is there. When you listen to it, you get the weekly question and then go to your Kringle Cash back office and put it there. That's exactly what you do. Go to your Kringle Cash. Let me show you what I mean so that it will be easier for us. Um, okay. Now, by the time you're in your Kringle Cash back office, you go to send button, and then anyway, mine has already been imputed. It's in this place. If you see this link is the same link with this one. By the time you've clicked on it, you see that it's the same link. Are you seeing it? Now the link ended with BUTK. When you come here, you see it BUTK. So what the admin is trying to tell you is that since this one has been put here, I don't think he's going to remove it. I don't know, but I doubt if the admin will remove it. Well, I know it's under, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at it. Now, it's under unlisted, but since it has been made public to the TBC community, it's no more going to be under unlisted. In fact, it's now kind of public. Now, see the total number of people that has viewed it since the time it was shot up until now, 4,000. And who knows, 1 week from now, it could be much more than 4,000, maybe 10,000 like the admin predicted, you know. So the point I'm actually driving at is this. As soon as you finish watching this video, then you can now come here and put in your answer to the security, to the weekly question, you know. Okay, and there are also a number of things I also want to call our attention to. Another thing I also want to call our attention to is on this one concerning the cash center. I think the cash center was was much more elaborated. The voice of TBC, that is Randy Wilson, expatiated or gave proper details on this particular cash center. Now, okay, let me give another instance too. Let me quickly give another instance. Yeah, now let me use mine as an instance. So I want to actually pay for $10. I know that yeah, my account has been paid for, but I'm just giving an instance. Now look at the options: pay with Ethereum, pay with Litecoin, pay with Bitcoin, credit card, and then this is Cash Center. As soon as you click on Cash Center, it comes up. My country is Nigeria. Country is Nigeria. My state is let me just give an instance. Abuja, FCT. That's my listing. Now you see it comes up. Now since it has come up, what next? Now the next one is this is actually Google Map. Now this is one. Name of this person is this. This is his email address. This is his phone number, and then this is the Abuja address. Now this is additional information. Now this is also another one behind NDE building. Okay, that's another one. Now let me also see next. How come it's only one person? Now, that's not supposed to be. I think they are supposed to be much more than this. Cash centers. It's only 2 entries. One to two of 2 entries. There should be a next. There's no next, there's no previous. Okay. I think this should be worked on. That is, in the whole of Abuja, I really wonder if there are only 2 people that are here. Wow. Okay, no problem. Let's leave it that way. Maybe some other people has not done their proper updates. Well, anyway, this is part of it for the cash center. Okay, let's try out somewhere else. Let's try out Lagos. And let me try, oh my God, the admin is so organized. Okay, let me try Lekki. Now you see, this one has actually shown the Google map for this. And it's only one person that is around this area. So you can easily contact him. You see how easy this Google map and then this cash center is. I think I like this cash center. Let me still try another one. Abuja. I want to see why Abuja is not going. It's only 2, and there's no link, no address at all. It's okay, no problem. Let me check it out on this is labels, this is map. Maybe I may get to look into it because I know that I did something like this. I was hoping that my names will come out, but I didn't see my names. Maybe I'll look into it very well. Okay, I think I've said something so far on this live broadcast. So let's see how many we are in numbers. Okay, 416. This is so small, no one will even notice it. We are increasing very gradually. And as we're increasing this way, that's how we're going to generate abundance. Okay, on your own, please, you guys can also take time to watch this video. This was done by the voice of TBC. And then you could also take time. I don't know how many of us has looked into this place. You know, this is this is um this is somewhere that we should take time to look into. Now there's a place I wanted to look into. Where is it? My 3D globe. This is a wonderful art that the admin has actually done. These are people from all over the world. You can actually spin it and it shows all the people within the world that are currently in the Kringle cashback office. You see how we are growing in numbers. Now, when you look here, you see that currently now, okay, Togo, Europe, Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria. Nigerians are always topping. I'm so proud of we Nigerians. All right, let me save time. I have a very limited number of limited time to stay with us, and then that will be all. Another thing I also want us to look into is let me see this, our ultimate price. Let me see our current price chart. Let's have a look at how it looks. You see how our current price chart is. This is the one that is tied to the value of gold. When we started, we're moving normal growth in direct proportion to the people that are coming to the community, and then we're tied to the value of gold, and we'll be moving that way. We'll keep going that way, go up, go down, relatively stable anyway. And that's one thing I love about this TBC. Okay, so the last thing I want to look into is this. Total number of people that are in the community in our, where is it? Is it membership chart? I think it's membership chart. Yep, that's membership chart. Yep. Now you see how beautiful this thing is. So let's look. This is Nigeria. Nigeria is made up of Nigerians are always at the first. 1,477,000, almost the whole of the TBC community. Nigeria is like half of them. Wow. Nigeria, you guys are wonderful. The thing I usually pay attention to, the one I usually pay more attention to are these ones, these last ones. I want to believe that now that the cash centers has been put in, these people will now step up. It will move from 10 to 20, 20 to 30. This is North Korea. It's okay. We can actually do it. All that we need is cooperation, proper cooperation. All right. I think I'll stop here. Let me quit and stop here and maybe I shall continue again some other time. So thank you very much for audience, and you guys are really wonderful. Okay, thank you very much, and we shall continue again very soon. Maybe in another few minutes, I may come up and check out one or two things. So please stay up to date. I'll be back very shortly. Okay. All right. Cheers for now. Bye.